what happens when you take a mega cruise ship and put it on a shorter 3 to 4 night sailing. But is this unique combination a genius concept by Royal Caribbean, or is their world's biggest weekend just party central, on steroids? So come join me on Embarkation Day where I share my first impressions, including the supercharged sail away party and first night on board sampling the dining, entertainment and nightlife. But with an image portrayed as a party ship, is this true and is it right for you? Well, come with us to find out. So Utopia of the Seas is based out of Port Canaveral, so it was only a short 45 to 60 minute drive from Orlando. And with its shorter 3 to 4 night itineraries makes this cruise a great flexible option. Perfect for domestic US guests looking for a short duration mini break getaway, and also international guests coming from the world class theme parks of Orlando and looking for a relaxing cruise afterwards. But most uniquely, as a mega ship on shorter duration sailings, it is a perfect option as a taster cruise for anyone looking for the big ship experience but without having to commit to a full 7 nights. Now, Utopia of the Seas is marketed as the world's biggest weekend, as these shorter cruises tend to have a more upbeat, high energy party atmosphere, with many smaller older ships labelled, dare I say, booze cruises. However, with the space of a mega ship, was keen to see how this would be balanced with, say, the family market, as the vibe was likely to be distinctly different than sailing on, say, a 7-night cruise on another Oasis class ship. However, for me personally, it was my first opportunity to trial the mega ship experience. Now, I have cruised numerous times before, both on different brands and class of ships, steering more towards the intimate mid-sized ships and away from the larger scale cruises, but had finally been converted as wanted to see what all the fuss was about, and is bigger actually better? But firstly, had to head to my cabin and complete my muster before exploring the ship more. So here we are, deck 10, cabin 309, a boardwalk balcony stateroom. Obviously the ship is pretty new, under a year old, so the decor is in very good state. Quite neutral, but not a bad thing. And bathroom, good ample size, and definitely the shower is quite generous. So just myself saying, but you have your sofa bed, plenty of workspace, plenty of storage, but of course the bed is a good size. Looking forward to seeing that later. And then of course we have the inward facing balcony to the boardwalk. And it tends to be a bit quieter here than the ones under the pool deck. And up to the aqua theatre. So after settling in, it was time to head to the upper decks in time for the sail away and to watch the other ships leave port, as Port Canaveral has now overtaken Miami as the busiest cruise port in the US. And having secured an early embarkation time, was able to head down to the twin main pools and secure a prime spot and ready for the sail away party, which was just as well, as this area was the focal point of festivities and quickly filled up. Plus the popular lime and coconut bars across both decks, keeping everybody in high spirits with their happy hour margaritas. But if not your thing, or with young children, you can escape the hijinks, as the adjacent beach pool and splash-away bay further along the decks were relatively unaffected, apart from a little bit of music. So soon audience participation was in full flow with Cha-Cha Slide, Cupid Shuffle and Conga Line, before the champagne guns came out as the finale of the celebrations. Now I will admit I was a little surprised by the atmosphere of the sail away party, as for a family cruise line made a Virgin Voyages sail away look quite tame, but think it is reflective of this cruise's unique offering, and everybody going big for sail away, with the pools returning to normal ambience for the rest of the cruise. And again, given the shorter duration on board, passengers no doubt approach it with a little bit more enthusiasm given their limited time on board. So after heading back to the cabin to freshen up and unpack, it was time to head out for my first evening on board, starting on the Royal Promenade on deck 5, and pre-dinner drinks at the aptly named Pesky Parrot.
Is worth 2 in the bush. What kind of pervert wrote that?
And here again you can see the subtle difference in the cruise audience on board given the itinerary of the ship. As aside from the usual families and couples, there were a lot more groups. From multi-generational families, friends and particularly groups of girls, including some bachelorette and hen parties. Though more dressed up for dinner, so keeping it classy. Though now it was time to head to the main dining hall for the welcome aboard dinner. Now, given the value of this being included as your main dining option and the limited duration of the cruise, some guests might feel less inclined to try the specialty dining options, especially given the food, service and setting were all excellent, starting with the crispy crab cake, followed by the New York strip steak and finishing with the New York cheesecake. So after dinner, headed through the boardwalk to the Aqua Theatre to watch Aqua 82. Utopia of the Sea's signature aqua show featuring high divers, acrobats, aerialists and dancers all performing to the music of the 1980s. And is always worth doing as early in your cruise as possible. For as the amphitheatre is outside, it is subject to weather conditions. So should your show be unfortunately cancelled, you have the option to reschedule on another night of your cruise. However, given the variety within the show, we'll show you some highlights of the key performances to give you a flavour of what to expect. But of course not show you the entire show to keep some surprises should you get to watch it in person. But if you're enjoying this video, please make sure you follow our Utopia of the Seas series, where in the next videos I take an in-depth tour of the ship and highlight my favourite spots, and another where I explore Royal Caribbean's private island, Perfect Day at CocoCay, including the adult-only Hideaway Beach Club, as aim to showcase those cruises with a unique itinerary or a standout element to them, and as a convert in more recent years, help those viewers who are new to cruise. But most importantly, we please ask that you hit that like and subscribe buttons. It really goes a long way in helping support this channel and for us to bring you more videos like this in the future. Thanks so much for the support. Now, if high-class entertainment and these large-scale performances are important to you in a cruise itinerary, such as dedicated aqua theatres, large-scale theatre production and ice skating shows, you'll only find these on a mega ship, such as Royal Caribbean's Oasis or Icon class ships. And they usually only do minimum 7-night durations. So Utopia of the Seas from Port Canaveral and Wonder of the Seas from Miami are unique in offering the big ship short itinerary option. Now the compromise might be that the ship is a little livelier than you're used to, but the other advantage of a mega ship is its scale and size. So it has no shortage of venues to accommodate every taste. So if you want to find the party crowd, it's there, but equally can escape it if that's not your thing. And in the next video, I'll show you the impressive range of entertainment options, from great bars to live music to dancing, karaoke, theatre productions and ice skating shows. So contrary to some negative image on social media and Royal Caribbean's marketing on the biggest weekend ever, I did not find an overbearing party atmosphere. Aside from the sail away party, you would actively have to seek out the lively spots on the ship. Now the ambience on Utopia of the Seas might not be for everybody, but that's the great thing about cruising, finding the ship and the itinerary that suits you. But if I've spiked your curiosity, then join us in the next episode where we use a port day in Nassau to explore the ship, where I'll show you the best options to beat the crowds, as adults, places you can escape the kids, or mega ship scale facilities where you can be a big kid. Plus I'll show you my favourite places and lesser known spots around the ship. Plus explore all of the specialty dining options to determine are they worth upgrading to. Plus check out all of the entertainment options from the large scale production Royal Caribbean's known for through to smaller intimate venues. And who knows, could I be becoming a fan of megaships moving forward? But if you've enjoyed this video, please drop us a like, subscribe to follow our Utopia of the Sea series, and let us know in the comments, do you think this ship's for you? But most importantly, thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon.